everyone, my name is Cora Alethea, and this is the first ever video of my channel! I'm really excited to make this channel as I plan to talk about media I adore while clearly drawing it. As any good autistic queer person should when talking about media they enjoy. Anyway, for this video, I was trying to think of a fun first Speedpaint to have paired with my debut. So of course, I decided to talk about myself, the channel, and everything else while drawing my very pretty channel banner. Here we go! I'm going off script now. Alright. I love this piece, like even if it's not absolutely amazing because I didn't use a reference image, which is really dumb. Artists, please use reference images when you're drawing complex poses. I didn't even take a photo of myself. This is pure core brain power. Not a smart move, but hey, it turned out well. I just didn't have everything look as amazing, as I don't really like how these shoes look, but I'm being nitpicky as an artist, and you're probably gonna be like, those look fine, and I'm like, well, I don't like just artist things. Anyway, I really love drawing core. I mean, when I was drawing this, I had already, so all those sprites that you saw in the beginning, I had drawn those the same day as I drew this banner, so I had been drawing them a lot. So I've got a lot of practice under my belt, which is good because they're my Sona. I should have a lot of practice under my belt when drawing my own freaking Sona and channel mascot. Anyway, I really love core, and I kind of wanted to talk about them a little bit. They're a really weird character. They kind of just came from this like idea I had to make a seraphim that was a porcelain doll because I really love like porcelain doll characters. I'm thinking like those D&D Warforged characters specifically because I'm a D&D nerd. So that's kind of where some of the inspiration came from, but I also really love steampunk aesthetics and the steampunk color scheme, and that's kind of why I went for more of like a copper color scheme and like oxidized copper, as you can see on my little sprite right now. So that's kind of where a lot of like the idea came from, was just kind of having this like steampunk seraphim porcelain doll. The seraphim part is all like the weird eye placements, the clock, kind of. Not really, actually, that's steampunk. Sorry. And the 6 wings, which is more of where the seraphim part comes in. I'm actually gonna throw up like my character sheet on screen as I'm talking about this. As I'm editing and doing the voiceover, I don't have that right now, but I'm going to throw that up so you can see what I'm talking about. But like, they're a really interesting and weird character, and so I had a lot of like fun designing them, and I am really excited to kind of share more about them and maybe kind of explore the character more. Anyway, the channel! So, this channel is going to be kind of a fun one where I just draw media I like and talk about it. You know, autistically. Just because I thought it would be a fun way to kind of like talk about things I enjoy without having to ramble people's ears off in real life. And I'm also planning to have like silly little videos that are not really quite animation memes because I don't have animation software, but kind of animation meme style. So you'll get to see some of that. I have a really fun one that I'm really excited to get with that actually was the entire inspiration behind finding an actual editing software so I could make it the way I used to make animation memes. I'm not going to talk about those because you can't find them anymore. I mean, you probably can from an internet archive, but I'm not going to say anything about it because I don't want anyone to find them. They're bad. Anyway, I really love this piece. I'm getting onto the coloring of core right now, as you can see, but the background is really fun. I am not really good at drawing backgrounds, so it's not like the most amazing background you've ever seen, but it's a really fun one because like I really like sunset color schemes, so I had a lot of fun playing with that. You probably saw me like struggling with figuring out how to actually get the sunset to look good, but I figured it out in the end, and I really love the clouds. I just ended up using a textured brush that actually has the same texture as my gradient brush that you've seen a little bit. A little different because it's a watercolor brush, so that Sai automatically has, so it's made to be a little different, but the brush in Sai 1 was called Cloud, so it's kind of the same. Oh yeah, you can see my textured airbrush. I don't know why I textured my airbrush, but honestly, I think it looks good, and even when I don't use it, like I end up using that brush a little later in the shading process. You'll see how I use it. If you've seen my channel banner, you can kind of see how it works. You can see my channel banner on like the front page, but also like my Twitter. I mean, I guess it's not really called Twitter anymore, but I feel like we should all just dead name it. Anyway, that is dating this intro. I'm so sorry. I feel like I've done that twice. I've dated this intro. But anyway, yeah, we're getting on to the coloring process, and I really like this pose. I really like this design. It feels very serene. I'm really excited for the shading because I get to use my favorite color. Oh, sorry. So you might have noticed that. So my drawing tablet, love it so much, even if the colors are slightly off. But what it loves to do is just randomly disconnect while I'm drawing. So I had some issues with that during this paint, but because it's sped up so much, you can't really tell. Anyway, we're on to the shading now. It's not super clean because I'm never super clean with my cell shading, but it gets the job done and it looks nice. And I'm using a kind of more bluish purple because the background kind of has I think I literally just stole the hue of purple from the color scheme and then just kind of modified it to fit the thing. But like, I have had a lot of fun doing cell shading. I used to hate cell shading. Like, it was my least favorite form of shading, and now it's the only one I know how to do, purely because it's simple and I just have to think like, okay, here's where the lighting should come from. I'm probably not going to follow that the entire way through, but here's where the lighting should come from, so that's kind of what I'm following. It's not amazing. Again, I didn't dot out a light source, which is not my smartest move. I feel like people should dot out light sources more, but I'm also kind of going off the whole idea that cores is the light source. If that even makes sense, because like they're kind of in the spot where the sun is for the sunset. Not quite, you can kind of see in the little viewfinder of the background. But I was kind of going with that with the shading, so it's not perfect. I need to work on my shading and my backgrounds, but hey, that's what being an artist is all about. Figuring things out and then growing as you continue to adapt and work with your art style. So, yeah, but anyway, this is the piece. I think I'm gonna stop talking here and just carry on with some nice groovy music, and you can continue to watch the rest of the speed paint. I can't wait to see you all again when I come back for my next video, and I hope you all have a wonderful morning, noon, or night. Bye!